where you been?
I don't know.
Have you missed it?
No, you haven't missed it. Aviation is not cheap.
That's for sure.
Lots in store.
The airplane is starting from scratch again.
We started over on the 401. So we've had so many different things happen here at Rebuild Rescue. We've been through so many different changes, and really, I never planned for any of this stuff to happen. I just fell in love with aviation and my whole life changed. Recently, you guys may have noticed that we haven't been posting as often, and you may have also noticed that there hasn't been any videos really here in the Rescue Hangar. That's because we shut down Rebuild Rescue a number of weeks ago. Because of all of you, the past 3 years has been nothing short of amazing. We've had so many awesome experiences, met some incredible people, and made so many memories together. This adventure wouldn't have been possible without the support from all of you, and we are so grateful that you've been here with us this whole time. It's been a dream. But even though we've invested thousands of hours of work and thousands of dollars into the 401, it's still not finished. We've had so many challenges, and at times, we've been up against insurmountable odds. To be honest, we felt like giving up so many times. But we have so many people depending on us, and we're not quitters. If we're going to finish the 401 and make sure it can do missions for years to come, we saw that we needed to make some changes. And that's why we brought Pete in.
Here I am.
Here you are. One of the things that Pete noticed right away, and you already knew because you've been watching the channel,
Yes.
is there's been so many different mechanics that have worked on this airplane, and that can cause a huge problem.
Issue is now somebody comes here and puts the rudder on. It's done, you tell me that, but I have to go through it again. I have to verify part numbers. I have to verify the installation's correct. So now you're paying twice the amount to get the same work done.
In twice the amount of time, but as a safety standard, you coming in, you can see a sign off, you can see an entry, you know this was a certified individual that worked on it, that's been reviewing, and we've talked about all that stuff, and he's met some of these individuals as well. But with a project this big, Pete was like, look, we got to stop. We have to stop, because if I'm going to know everything is good in this airplane, we need to inspect every inch of it. So the last couple weeks,
there's been a lot of behind the scenes. I know we're not showing it in videos, but it's been me going tip to tail on the whole airplane, making sure that it is 100% correct. And see how much extra threads are sticking out of the bottom there?
oh my gosh.
Yep.
Man.
That stuff's all going to end up coming out for the new autopilot anyway.
So I think these time out.
5 years, I think.
Is it? I still got to do a little more cleaning. It's weird. I don't know how it happens. It was perfectly clean, and now it's like dirty again.
It's just the 401 likes dirt.
We have a radar unit for that one.
Yeah.
The one that was on this one wasn't in very good shape.
Everything that's tight is torque sealed.
Yeah.
Everything that's not is not torque sealed.
Yeah, this thing here is missing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Nice. So it's looking good.
It's looking good, yeah. It has to be perfect by the book or it's not going anywhere. It's the only way that it has to be done. That's why the airplane is starting from scratch again is what we're doing.
Yeah, so we started over on the 401. Is what happened. Thanks, Pete.
Yes, sorry.
So
everything that's done on the aircraft will be written up and notated somewhere in our work orders. I'm not doing the job twice. You're not doing the job twice. If we have help come in, they're not doing the same job. It's just, we're going to streamline everything.
the thing that I learned is really notes, redundancy, process. It's all stuff that we don't have to do, but it's the right way to do it. So we've been following that, but it also means that it takes a lot longer.
It does. Like I told you the other day, the airplane's almost ready to fly when the paperwork is almost as big as the plane.
Yeah, right.
When the stack is as tall as the airplane, we're almost ready to fly. Almost.
But the ability to be able to do this and to be able to resurrect the 401, it's not on any other timeline except for the timeline of everything being done properly. This 401, it's been a journey. I've learned so much. We have thousands of hours invested in this. Meanwhile, we do have to rescue other airplanes. I mean, these hangars aren't cheap. If any of you guys have one, you know all about it. And from a business standpoint, I've been a business owner most of my life. I started from nothing, and worked really hard, had a number of successful small businesses. And the thing I saw right away is that if I ever wanted to retire or, keep my marriage happy, I was going to have to find some ways to be able to afford to do this. Once this is built, great. You have a 401, it's built. It burns 30 some gallons an hour, and the insurance is going to be astronomical. And to keep it hangared and to have it do missions, it's not cheap. So we needed a way to fix that. And a way to fix that is to have fun by rescuing airplanes, get them flying again, and make a little bit of money. So you guys out there would get to enjoy them and also get to see the adventure. But that takes time too. An average rescue, just getting it from where it's at to here in a ferry, can easily be 3 months, 6 months.
And thousands of dollars.
Oh, it's so much money.
Thousands of dollars.
It's so much money. Oh, and by the way, if you have an airplane repair shop or you're an airplane mechanic that does mobile operations or something like that, we need shops. We need shops all across the country because we're rescuing airplanes everywhere. We need some good shops, some good mechanics to partner with, and if you have an airplane that you want to get running again or one you want to sell, or maybe grandpa's got one, just reach out. Jason at rebuildrescue.com. Maybe we could help you out. We want to get you guys involved. We want to get these airplanes running again. We want them saved. We want them flying. So reach out, let us know. Jason at rebuildrescue.com.
We've talked about it at the end of this 401 journey. We're going to have the most expensive 401 in the world that's still
100%.
worth $240,000.
Maybe 240. Maybe,
What
but you
it's
got to
gonna be
remember, we're
worth.
rebuilding the logs too, so this won't have any original log
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
But it'll have a Pete book.
Behold his mighty hand.
And you guys got to see this book. It's the way that every single airplane that we do here is going to come.
That's it. We start from scratch.
A
There's
brand
no
new
more.
pedigree.
The biggest problem with general aviation that I see is that airplanes have 50 different logbooks and none of them match. And everybody throughout the years has been adding things to them and taking things out. So now we erase them all,
Yeah.
put them as historicals, and we start fresh logbooks from
Fresh,
zero.
yeah.
That's the only way to
Yep,
do it.
and it's new pedigree.
Yep.
We have a whole way that the whole testing procedure goes. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. But guys, we have been so busy, and to get things the way that they need to be, to go that extra mile in that level of professionalism, that level of accuracy, sometimes you just got to slow down to go faster.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is true.
Yeah.
One of the other things too, in the last couple of weeks that we've been doing is scheduling. And it is something that we have tried to do. We tried to figure out, where is this going to go for avionics? Because avionics is such a specialty. We're not going to do it in here. We could, but not on a project this big. And the shop we have doing it, they have to be like the best.
Yeah.
We did schedule the avionics. We have that good to go. We've scheduled the interior. We've also scheduled the paint. And we had to figure out how that's going to fit into our schedule. As we have the 401 at these other places getting work done, they're going to be out of our hands. And we're going to be able to give little updates on them, but you're not going to see as much of the 401 because they're going to be digging in and they're going to be getting the avionics and the paint work and the interior work done. We're going to miss it, but when it comes back, that thing's going to be ready to go.
Me and my family love to travel. And one of the biggest problems we have, and most likely you have when traveling, is high data charges on our phones. I love being able to pull the country that I'm in, and I like the security of being able to contact someone if I have an issue. Typical cell services charge an insane amount when traveling. That's where today's sponsor comes in. Saily is a new eSIM service app. eSIMs provide an internet connection wherever you travel and save you money on roaming fees. No more wandering around looking for a public Wi-Fi spot. That's so annoying. You can choose from several affordable eSIM plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. With Saily eSIM, you'll always have the connection when needed. Saily is super easy to use. All you have to do is download the app for your next trip. You don't need to install a new eSIM for each country. You also don't have to wait in line, which we all hate to do at the airport, to purchase a local SIM card. It can be done simply in the Saily app. Once you've downloaded the app, add code RebuildRescue right here in your phone and you get a 15% discount. Then all you do is select a country that you're traveling to, choose your data plan, install the eSIM, and you are all ready to go. One of the things I also appreciate about the Saily app is the safety that it includes. I don't have to worry about getting scammed by people selling fake SIM cards outside the airport, and Saily's security features include virtual locations, blocking malicious ads, and other web protections, which are so important. All Saily eSIM plans are compatible with iOS and Android devices. If for some reason your device is not eSIM compatible, you'll get a full refund, plus they offer chat support 24/7. Get an exclusive 15% discount on Saily data plans. Use code RebuildRescue at checkout. Download Saily app or go to saily.com/rebuildrescue. Now I'm off to the Bahamas. This is gonna be fun.
One of the things that we really wanted to focus on while we were shut down, while we were working on Rebuild Rescue, was safety in all the stuff that we do, whether it's in the shop or whether we're flying. If you guys remember Vince, we went on a couple different rescue efforts. We rescued from dogs. We went down to North Carolina into the mountains there and did some rescue efforts with his R-44 helicopter. And there was one thing I learned really quick. Vince is an awesome pilot, and he is so focused on safety. One of the times that I realized that is when we almost got into a situation where we took off. We had some weather come up on us quick, turned around, we landed. It completely messed up our plans, but that decision-making process showed me that that's what you need to do. That was a responsible thing. So we asked Vince to come over to sit down with us and lay out what the rules are that we should follow. What should our minimums be as a company, as a group, and how should we navigate all this?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where when weather comes in, you pull the credit card out because it's not worth your life or even someone's life on the ground, which was exactly what we did, and it completely destroyed our plans, at least for that night. But we're here to say, not that it was an outrageous, dangerous situation, but it just wasn't worth pushing.
So what are some of the things that we came up with as a team that would be the standards that we follow while we're flying airplanes, while we're doing these rescues, while we're ferrying stuff from coast to coast? I mean, it is a huge responsibility, and there's been so much to learn.
It's our due diligence to mitigate the risk as much as possible. So obviously these are subject to change, but just some general stuff. Obviously no IMC, I think that's, a given.
Absolutely.
VFR only, daytime, nothing past 30 minutes past sunset. And it's not because the pilots, whoever are flying, can't handle it, but if something goes wrong, it's 20 times harder to set something down on a highway in a field at night, because especially if it's a moonless night.
Yeah, and you could be landing, you could see a spot that looks like a field, and it could be a ravine.
Bumpy. Yeah, exactly.
It could be a ravine. It
so
could be
something like that. The nighttime just adds to the risk. Obviously, performance-wise, within its max crosswind component, a risk assessment, this is something that I think is very important because really only larger operators do this, has to be completed and signed off by both the pilot and the mechanic. That would tell us on the ground that it's been looked at not once but twice by two people who are qualified in their different professions. I think this is one that can go without saying, but everyone says yes to the flight. And what does that mean? If Jason and I are flying in this helicopter that we own, and he doesn't like something that I might be comfortable with, I don't question that he's not comfortable with it. We pull the credit card out, we go to bed. It's that simple. So if there's 4 people, one person doesn't say yes, it's not questioned. It's you're done, you tie down, you go get a hotel. And I think that goes without saying, especially for long cross countries.
absolutely.
On top of that, FAA standards plus what we do for pilot and mechanic. So if we have a ferry flight where it's single pilot only, but we are able to bring a mechanic. Why not? Because it brings that extra layer of protection if something happens at an airport that has no services. From a performance standpoint of the actual airplane, 2 instrument approaches of each type of approach in VFR daytime.
So now this would be, there's a couple different stages that we have. We rescued an airplane that's been sitting for 10 years, and it's a ferry flight that follows FAA standards, but once we get it here, there's still a bunch of work to do.
So much to do.
There's levels of checkpoints and things that we have to do to be able to fly it, and we had decided there's levels of people and their responsibility level and knowledge level that they would be able to fly that airplane. And I am a very young pilot. I'm a very inexperienced pilot. I'll be the first to say that. I'm going to take a back seat and I'm going to wait, and we're going to put the folks, like yourself, that a lot of your flying is reaction based on experience. And he's going to be much better at, mitigating any issue that could happen.
And even if I can't, find someone who can. So with that, 2 instrument approaches of each type, precision, non-precision, VOR, kind of whatever is the airplane capable of, we want to shoot that 2 times. And then if the airplane has an autopilot, that autopilot within the first 20 hours of the check flights has to have an autopilot only flight. It has to hold heading, altitude. If it's able to shoot an approach, it has to shoot an approach, each type of approach.
It's this processed and procedured way of checking through the airplane and making sure it's ready to go and checking the boxes off, and not only just checking them off, but literally having some inspection sheets that are going over the pre-flight and the post-flight checklist that's filled out, that then gets put in a folder. It goes with that airplane for the next person that gets it. Any squawk is recorded along the way. And all this stuff, it's not required, but in our eyes and in the eyes of safety and in the eyes of
It's a disservice
the
to not do
team,
it.
we're going to do it because it's the best way that we can move forward through rescuing these airplanes, and also being able to hand off a really good airplane that we're confident in. A lot of these things we would do previously. We would follow FAA guidelines, but there's so much more that we can all do to offer, better services and better airplanes and be a lot safer.
My goal is that when an airplane leaves here, I want to be able to have enough confidence to say I would put my mother in that aircraft and go to
absolutely.
fly to lunch. And if I say no to that, then it's not ready to leave here.
100%. The idea is, bringing someone in like yourself. This is what you practice. And in the flights that we flew, I saw, so many good decisions and learned so much. And it really made me interested to learn more about that stuff. You got to look over your stuff. You have to follow procedures. If you guys have an airplane, I would implore you to have your own procedures, not just what someone requires you to have. Have your own that's above and beyond.
Yeah, the FAA has minimums, but that doesn't mean you should only do
The minimum
requirement.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's been really good. I appreciate so much, everything that you've done and the time that you've invested. And our goal, and one of the things that's really big with Vince, and one of the things that we really came together on, is doing these missions, the different missions that the 401's going to do, and some other airplanes we're not going to talk about quite yet are going to do. But and it's being able to serve the community. But you got to do it in a way that's safe and that is responsible. And I can't wait.
yeah, lots in store.
Yeah, I can't wait to fill like the 401 up with a whole bunch of puppies and go flying. But you're going to fly because I'm going to be in the back playing with them. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the 401 single pilot, so we're good to go.
The people are going to be like, Vince is flying the 401. That's a problem.
Wait, isn't he a helicopter pilot?
Yeah, that's exactly what people are going to think. They've never seen me fly an airplane.
I haven't either, so. One of the biggest struggles we've had here is losing the mechanic who's been helping us for most of the 401 project. It was devastating, and it set us back for months.
Basically, it comes down to the airport has thrown me out.
Without his help here, we've had to stop for the last 6-7 weeks. Have you seen this thing lately?
Not really.
Have you missed it?
No.
No, you haven't missed it. So we got a visitor in the hangar today. Greg stopped by. Every now and again he stops by to check up on things. And
Or harass us.
And harass us actually. So
More their harassment.
so what have you been up to?
Yeah, working.
Yeah, so you're over at that
Pottstown,
other
yep.
airport, Pottstown Airport, and happy and
Yeah, nobody to bother me. Do work. You don't have to have somebody looking over your shoulder and the airport authority yelling at you.
yeah, that's good. You seem to be in a lot better mood.
I'm just a wet rag.
You're just a wet rag.
Well, that's because I'm not hanging out with you guys.
He's going to work on a 401.
It's because you have to work it up for a while. No, it's been we've been busy here, but we obviously miss you. And for some reason, we miss the constant harassing and mess around with stuff. But this thing is getting done. We've been putting a lot of work into it, and Yeah, and we have a couple more surprises coming. The Air Commander will be flying in about 5 or 6 weeks. We have our raffle airplane. We're going to have at Sun and Fun, the 160.
Yep.
We have a bunch of surprises coming out for that. You guys will be able to see it at Sun and Fun. We have our own booth outside of Hangar C. That airplane is going to be brand new, and you guys are going to be able to win it. You got to stop by and see us there. We're going to be giving this Cherokee, this 160, away. Hopefully, if you don't make it down to Sun and Fun, hopefully you can make it to Oshkosh. I know a lot of the folks at home have been wondering what you've been up to, how things are going for you. They know it was stressful for you for some time. I'm glad that you're in a better situation.
Just the moving was the stressful part.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
now
a lot.
that I'm up there, and you know, like, opening up to working on everybody's stuff now. So
That's awesome. That is awesome. And at some point, things could change here too. You never know. But we're going to keep on, we'll keep on moving. One of these days, I'll fly something up and we'll be able to harass you up there.
I was almost going to call you this morning to fly me up northeast, but
Yeah.
the Cherokee's not here, so
No, I have nothing.
you don't have anything to fly.
I always
all
don't
these-
have
all these
something. Every
airplanes
time I
have
get
nothing
one
to
to fly, someone buys it. And then I'm done to fly.
You got to save one until you got the next one done.
The 160 is flying right now. It's going to have the custom interior. We got that whole custom panel we just talked about, all the avionics. This thing's going to be so cool. But we'll have that to fly on the channel, and to do some other flight testing stuff from Sun and Fun till Oshkosh, because we're going to give it to the winner at Oshkosh. Yeah, absolutely. We will be doing some work to it after Sun and Fun, but everybody's going to get to see it there. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Excited about that. The Aero Commander might be there. You have to check that one out.
Yeah, I want to see that one. It's been a
That
while since I've
one's-
seen the Air Commander. Especially, I've never seen one like that.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Well, thank you for stopping by here and
Always.
hanging out for a bit. And hopefully we can go
We
flying
got to bust
soon.
your stones sometimes.
Yeah, someone has to. Yeah, it's like peaceful around here. So you guys might have met Uncle Ted from some of the videos of down in Texas. But Uncle Ted actually, he bought this Warrior, and he is a pilot from way back in the day. And you'll see him more often, whether he likes it or not. So Uncle Ted's gonna be coming on some adventures with us. What'd you think about, as you got into Rebuild Rescue, what'd you think about this whole thing and like going down to Texas and going on a rescue? And
Well, I thought it was really intriguing, all the different facets of the aviation and the repair and the getting them to run and fly, and it's what got me interested in it.
you watched the channel before, so you would see kind of like the playing around and the just having fun with friends, but you also got to see some of the stuff that a lot of viewers don't get to see, which is like the planning and
Right.
all of the hours and hours that
Which
go
is
into
Many hours.
a small
Many hours.
video.
Yes, many
So-
hours. Texas, we were there for, seemed like forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were there for like a week to get, an hour video or an hour and 15-minute video. The amount of work that goes into what we do at Rebuild Rescue and these airplanes and the due diligence and that wasn't even the research into those airplanes and the parts and the systems and all that. So, I've been blessed to be able to get to do that and get to learn while we're doing all this and get to take Uncle Ted with and, and get to have fun and get to bring you guys with. So Ted's actually going to be flying this for about 6 hours here. You're going to be taking this thing home. We're going to miss the Warrior. You'll see a lot of these airplanes that we buy. Some of them we'll bring back. Some of them we're going to get to a certain degree of kind of restoration, if you will. But some of them we will buy and sell even on spot. And there's even more that you guys don't see. This is something that we've had to do to raise money to be able to do this, because if there's one thing I learned, aviation is not cheap.
That's for sure.
Notice a little color change here too.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God.
I like the choice.
So Uncle Ted and Uncle Ted's boss,
Anne Marie. Yep.
and Aunt Ann,
Yeah, Auntie
Auntie
Ann.
Ann.
Auntie Ann. Yeah.
did not like the tan, so he put his print on it. We went with a little maroon and white stripe. I think it looks much better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks like a different airplane.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah, this thing flies really nice too. I'm going to miss it. There's been a number of comments lately asking us, where's Joe been? The thing is, sometimes we're working on planes, cars, trucks, or boats. But once in a while, we need to take a break and work on ourselves. Yeah, where you been?
I don't know. Have you seen me?
Yeah. There's been so much stuff going on here at Rebuild Rescue. All of it has been to really better what we can do with the 401, what we can do in aviation, and what we can do for the community. We have that Aero Commander project. We have another 40.
Another one?
They don't know about that yet. We won't talk about that. But there's just so much going on here, and to get this all done, it takes so much work and it takes so much time. Really, the end goal, it's not the videos. The end goal is not the 401. It's not a 401 channel. It's never been. This has just been a huge opportunity that we've had the honor to be involved in, which will get done as we can get it done and only get done the right way. And we get to take you guys along with us. We get to show you what it takes to do these kind of projects, and also what can be done in aviation, what you guys can do, what anybody can get involved in, no matter what you like to do. There's a place for all of you in aviation. I mean, there's been a place for Joe in aviation. Where you been, Joe?
I don't know.
By the way, you've been like hiding out?
I have. Been working behind the scenes a little bit, doing a couple things to get myself healthy.
Joe, you quit smoking, right?
Yes, I have.
That's big.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
So I had to step away a little bit to maybe not smack people around, you know?
We had to kick him out of here for a little while so he could quit smoking. Yeah, we're super proud of you for that, dude. Like, those of you who don't know, we have Uncle Ted. This is like Brother Joe. Like, he's been around for a really long time. He's part of the family. We all have things that we're working on, just like we're working on bettering Rebuild Rescue. We're working on bettering the team. We work on bettering ourselves, just like a lot of you guys too. So it's actually been really good, and I really like the direction we're going. Things are looking good.
Yeah.
So.
And for you guys that don't know, this is like a 10-year project.
10? Oh, it was like
Yeah.
20. What do you mean 10 years?
We jumped into it a little fast, thinking, you know, it was going to be quick and easy. Not so much. You know, parts are hard to come by. Getting things rebuilt or, you know, take time. And we got to learn how to do some of this stuff, and working with the different people we've been working with, you know, it's taking time. We understand you guys are getting frustrated. You want to see it done. We do too.
Yeah.
We're getting there bit by bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's not like this isn't a car, you know, and I've said this multiple times, you know, you can't just like slap stuff on it and send it down the road. You know, there's only one way to do it, and that's according to the manual and FAA rules and regulations. And you may see us being goofs and messing around here, but that's a really small amount of what we do. The biggest thing that we do is do things the right way. We have redundancy. We have multiple people that go over every single thing on every project, and we always have. Any project that you guys have seen on the channel has been months. It's also been checked out by the proper people, done the proper way, had redundancy, if not one mechanic or two, even another shop looking at it, every single one. And it's really important for us to better ourselves along the way and better everything that we can bring to aviation. Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Rebuild Rescue. Take care.
Cut!